All right, so we're diving into Psalm 46:1 today.
Okay.
You know, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble.
Right.
We want to go kind of deeper than just the, typical Sunday school interpretations.
Yeah.
We want to talk about how some pastors are using this in really cool, fresh ways.
Yeah, I've seen some really unique approaches to this verse that I think will be really valuable.
Yeah, for our audience.
Yeah.
So like Grow Life Church,
Mm-hmm.
they really focus on that phrase, ever-present help.
Right.
And they went into the Hebrew and said that present actually implies abundance
Oh, wow.
and immediacy.
Interesting.
Like, it's not just that he's there.
Yeah.
It's that he's like right there with bells on,
Yeah.
like really present.
Yeah, I like that.
And they had this really cool analogy of a child clinging to a parent in a crowded museum.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who hasn't been that parent in
Yeah.
that situation?
Yeah, just that need for closeness amidst the chaos,
That's good.
And so how can we as pastors,
Yeah.
how can we evoke that feeling for our audience
Right.
to really help them grasp the immediacy of God's presence
Yeah, that's powerful.
in those anxieties and their own struggles?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Tab Nashville.
Okay.
They took a totally different route with this.
Okay.
They describe God as a spiritual bank,
A spiritual bank.
always open,
Oh, wow.
always providing.
Interesting.
And it's so different from our human institutions.
Yeah.
The banks close,
Right, they have hours.
people let us down,
Yeah.
but God is always there.
This is a good contrast.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's that unwavering support.
Especially, I think, in a world where things feel so uncertain.
Yeah,
Yeah, that image is really resonant,
absolutely.
that we can always draw on his resources.
Yeah, no matter what we're going through.
Exactly.
Now, Hamilton Mill Church,
Okay.
this is where it got interesting.
All right.
They connected Psalm 46:1 to the blame game.
The blame game. Wow.
When things go wrong in our lives.
Right, right.
Our tendency to point fingers
Oh, yeah.
when things fall apart.
It's easier to blame others, right,
Yeah.
than to take responsibility.
Exactly.
Sure.
And the pastor even told this funny story
Okay.
about being a Miami Dolphins fan
Okay.
and constantly blaming the refs,
Yeah, we've all been there.
and it's funny,
Yeah.
but it makes a serious point
Right.
about how we can, like the psalmist,
Mhm.
turn to God as a unifier
Oh, that's good.
when we're surrounded by all this finger pointing.
Yeah, that's a timely message for sure.
Isn't it?
It is.
We see so much division,
Yes.
so much blame
Absolutely.
in our world today,
Mm-hmm.
and turning to God as a source of unity.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It's so powerful
It really is.
and so relevant
Yeah.
for our congregations.
I think so. And it's interesting because Tab Nashville, they made this other point about the word azer
Okay.
that we translate as help,
Mm-hmm.
but it has this much stronger meaning in Hebrew.
Really?
It implies like divine intervention, like a rescue almost.
So it's not just help. It's like,
right.
whoa,
Yeah.
this is a big deal.
God stepping in.
God's cavalry's arrived.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And Heaven Living Ministries, HLM,
Okay.
they brought up this story about King Asa from 2 Chronicles 14.
Okay.
And he refused to rely on military might.
Interesting.
He just totally trusted God for victory.
Wow.
And you know what?
Good.
He won this huge battle against overwhelming odds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a testament to what happens when we align ourselves with God.
Yeah.
Make him our refuge and strength.
Put Psalm 46:1 into action.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
tap into that exceedingly present help.
So we've covered a lot of high-level stuff here.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the practical application.
Sure.
How did these pastors take these profound insights and make them into sermons?
Well, one thing that stood out to me was storytelling.
Oh, yeah,
A good story can really bring an abstract concept to life.
for sure.
Like God is our refuge.
Right. It makes
Right.
it feel real.
Exactly. It makes it relatable.
It's not just some theological concept up in the clouds.
Right. And that pastor from Hamilton Mill Church with the Miami Dolphins,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was brilliant.
It was funny.
It was relatable
Yeah.
and it really disarmed the audience. And then
Yeah.
they were open to hearing the deeper message
Yeah, I love that.
about blame and unity.
Yeah, it's like humor opens the heart.
It does.
Yeah.
It creates a connection.
Yeah. What other techniques did you notice?
They used a lot of vivid imagery and metaphors.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like that Grow Life Church analogy with the child clinging to the parent
Oh, it's so good.
in the museum.
It's so visual.
It's so powerful.
You feel it.
You can feel that need for security
Yeah.
and comfort.
And then that Tab Nashville metaphor of God as the spiritual bank.
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant.
It is.
It takes something we all know.
Something familiar,
Yeah.
a bank,
Right.
and uses it to illuminate this profound spiritual truth
It's so good.
about God's provision.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job
They did.
of making these abstract concepts so tangible
Right.
and relatable.
Exactly.
And it makes you realize that sometimes the simplest analogies
Yeah.
are the most powerful. They really did. It's amazing how they took something so potentially complex
Yeah.
and made it so clear.
Right. And another technique I noticed was connecting the ancient text to modern day issues.
Oh, yeah. Give me an example.
Well, like Hamilton Mill Church focusing on Psalm 46:1 in the context of all the division and blame we see today.
Yeah.
It shows that these words are still relevant.
Yeah. They're not just ancient history.
Exactly. They offer guidance
Yeah.
and solace.
Right in the middle of our struggles today.
Yeah, like bridging the gap
Yeah.
between the ancient and the modern.
Showing people how these timeless truths
Yeah.
can speak directly to their lives.
Right.
So as we're getting ready to preach on Psalm 46:1,
Right.
what do we do with all this?
Well, think about the stories, the images, the metaphors that will resonate with your congregation.
Yeah.
How can you help them experience the truth of God's refuge and strength in a way that feels fresh and relevant?
This has been so insightful.
It has.
It's amazing to see how other pastors are approaching this familiar verse
Yeah.
with such creativity and depth.
It reminds us that there's always more to discover in God's word.
Always.
And as we dig deeper, we find new layers of meaning
Yeah.
and relevance.
That can make our preaching and teaching so much richer.
Absolutely.
It's like we've been given a whole new set of lenses to
Yeah.
view this passage through.
Right.
I'm excited to see how this shapes my next sermon on Psalm 46:1.
I think your congregation will be too.
I hope so.
Remember, the goal is to go beyond just giving information and connect with people's hearts.
Make them feel it.
Yes, help them feel the truth of God's refuge and strength
Yeah.
in a way that changes their lives.
That's powerful.
It is.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
We hope these insights will equip and inspire you
Yes,
to bring Psalm 46:1 to life for your congregation.
absolutely.